بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم. ولادة سيدنا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم. After we have covered the noble lineage of the Holy Prophet صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم, we would like to cover insha'Allah ta'ala the holy birth of the Holy Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. It is agreed upon the scholars that Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, it is agreed by the scholars of Sirah that he was born on what day? What day? The day? Monday. That is agreed upon by all the scholars, because the Holy Prophet ﷺ in an authentic hadith was asked why he fasted on Monday. He said, it is the day on which I was born, and it is the day on which I was sent as a prophet. So that is agreed upon, alayhi salatu wassalam. And we're not going to talk about the length or the duration of the pregnancy. What is the most famous version is that it took 9 months. Some of the scholars say that the nur of the Holy Prophet ﷺ entered the holy womb of Sayyidatuna Amina on the first day of Rajab. On the first day of Rajab. And the Holy Prophet ﷺ was born in the month of Rabi' al-Awwal. And his father died before the Prophet ﷺ was born. And there are differences on which day when, but the most famous version is that 2 months after the beginning of the pregnancy of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, or of the pregnancy of Sayyidatuna Amina with Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallama. And the scholars have differences on which day he was born. So they agree upon Rabi' al-Awwal, they agreed upon Monday, and they have differences whether it was the 2nd, the 8th, and the 12th. The most famous version is the version that he was born on the 12th of Rabi' al-Awwal. Even though some scholars, I don't know if we can call them scholars, claim that what is agreed upon is that he died on the 12th of Rabi' al-Awwal. Have you heard that? You've heard that. It is agreed that he passed away on the 12th of Rabi' al-Awwal, and it is not agreed that he passed away he was born on the 12th. Then we are celebrating the death. Whoever you hear say that, know that he doesn't know anything of Sirah. I mean anything. If you read the Kutub Sirah, you know that the Holy Prophet ﷺ could not die on the 12th of Rabi'ah. If you know anything about the Sirah, read the Kitab of Al-Fath, Fath al-Bari li Imam al-Bukhari. And the greatest scholar of Sirah, Al-Imam al-Suhaili, he said that all sayings are possible except for the fact that he passed on the 12th. He said that one is impossible. He said all versions are possible except that one. Why? Why? When did the Holy Prophet ﷺ go to Mecca for Hajjatul Wada? What year? How long did he stay in Medina before he passed away? You all know, 10 years, right? Yeah. So the last year, the 10th, and when he came back, he would pass on the beginning of the 11th. So he went to Hajj on the 10th of Hijrah, the 10th year of the Hijrah of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. And we can calculate it. Very easy to calculate. Very easy, very easy. So we know that what day was Arafat on that? During the Hajj, when the Prophet ﷺ performed the Hajj. No. The Arafat day was what day?
9.
No. 9, we all know that. Arafat day is always 9. What day? I mean the day. The name of the day. Friday. We all know that. We all know that. There is a hadith in which Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala was asked by a Yahudi. A Yahudi came to him and said to him, there is an ayah in your book. اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا. If we had an ayah like that in our book, we would take the day that ayah was revealed as a celebration day, as a Eid. The Holy Sayyidina Umar said, I know when and where it was sent down to the Holy Prophet. It was a Friday on the day of Arafah. اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي. So we know that the Prophet ﷺ. So if the day of Arafah was Friday, then comes your response, Muhammad. So Friday, if it means Friday is the 9th of Dhul Hijjah. If Friday is the 9th of Dhul Hijjah, what day does Dhul Hijjah begin? What day does the Dhul Hijjah begin? If Friday is the 9th, easy. Who you didn't go to school? Thursday. You know, Thursday, when Thursday comes back, it's 8th, right? And Friday is going to be 9th. If Friday is the 9th, then the month begins on Thursday. It's very easy, right? So the scholars of Sirah say, if such is the case, now Dhul Hijjah is going to be either 29 or 30. If Dhul Hijjah is 29, then the first month of Safar will be on Friday. The first day of Safar, the first day of Muharram will be Friday. If Dhul Hijjah is 30, then the first day will be Saturday. If Dhul Hijjah is 29, the first day of Muharram is Friday. If 30, the first day is Saturday. Then comes Safar, the end of Muharram. If Muharram is 29, the first day of Safar will be Saturday. And if Muharram is 30, the first day of Safar will be Sunday. What month comes after Safar? Rabi'an al-Awwal, the month on which he passed. Because the Prophet ﷺ, he passed a couple of months after he finished the Hajj. Right? So the Hajj month is Dhul Hijjah. The next month is Muharram. The next month is Safar. The next month is Rabi'an al-Awwal, in which he passed, alayhi salatu wasalam. Easy to calculate. If the month of Dhul Hijjah begins on Thursday, and it is 29, the first day of next month, Muharram, is going to be Friday. If it is 30, Muharram begins on Saturday. If Muharram is 29, Safar begins on Saturday. If Muharram is 30, Safar begins on Sunday. If now Safar is 29, Rabi'un al-Awwal will begin on Sunday. If Safar is 30, Rabi'un al-Awwal is going to begin on Monday. So now Rabi'un al-Awwal is the month on which the Prophet ﷺ passed. So Rabi'un al-Awwal either starts on Monday or on Wednesday. On Monday or Sunday. So if Sunday is the first of Rabi'un al-Awwal, Monday is what?
2.
Is second. When Monday comes back, is it going to reach 12 or no? It's not going to reach 12. When it comes back, it's going to fall on 12 or no? It's going to pass 12. You know? So if Sunday is the first, When Sunday comes back, the first Monday is 8. Okay? The second Sunday is going to be, the first Monday is 12, is second, sorry. The first Monday is second, because Sunday is first. The first Monday is going to be second. Then the second Monday is going to be 9th. The third Monday is going to pass away. It's not going to be 12, right? So because now we have, if Sunday is the first day of Rabi'ul Awwal, then no Monday will fall on the 12th. Are you getting me? Are you with me? If the first day is Sunday, when Sunday comes back, it's going to be 8th. Then Monday is going to be 9th. When Sunday comes back, it's going to be what? Maybe 15th. Then Monday is going to be 16th. That means Monday cannot be 12, right? So let's say the month started on Monday. Because if Sakho is 30, then the month started on Monday. If the Monday comes back, it's 8th. If it comes back, it's going to be 16 or 17. Whatever it is, it's never going to be 12. So there is no Monday that falls on 12th. On that month, the Holy Prophet ﷺ passed. And we all agreed that the Prophet ﷺ passed on Monday. All the scholars, they agree that he passed on Monday. في يوم مولده في شهر مولده قبل الزوال بشهر المولد العظيم بشهر المولد العظيم as one of the scholars said. So the Holy Prophet ﷺ was not did not pass on the 12th. But the majority, the most famous, that which is almost agreed upon by almost all the scholars now, not scholars, but the scholars who do the seerah, and the ummah, now in almost the totality of the ummah celebrate the 12th. Yet of scholars, some scholars, they do celebrate all the 12 days to make sure that it comes on that day. But the most agreed upon, or the most famous, let's say, is the 12th, that the Prophet ﷺ was born on the 12th, the night of the 12th, or the sahar of the 12th, the dawn of the 12th. Because the scholars say the Prophet ﷺ is so just that he was not born at night, because that would be a bad day for the day. And he was not born during the day, because that would be a bad day or night for the night. But he was born in between. That's why they say he was born on dawn. That it started, the process started at night and begins and ended right before Fajr, or at the time of Fajr. Sahar, they call it Sahar. Sahar is dawn. Wabil asharihum yastaghfirun. This is some of the scholars of Suluk that they say that no matter how painful your disease or sickness is, that very moment when it comes, you will feel at ease. You will get to sleep, because that's the very moment the Holy Prophet ﷺ, the mercy of this ummah, the mercy of this dunya and akhirah, was born. And he was named as what? Mouhamed. And that name came away before, because Sayyidatuna Amina, after 6 months of pregnancy, she saw a being telling her that you have with you the prophet of this ummah. And when you give birth to him, to this baby, give him this name Muhammad. And ask Allah Ta'ala to protect him from evil. From evil. So that's why when Halima was worried that Shaitan may have gotten the Prophet ﷺ, Amina wasn't worried. Amina was sure that Shaitan could not do anything. That's why when Halima came in, because the Malaika, they came in the form of other beings, and they took the Prophet ﷺ and opened his chest when he was at Halima. We're going to be there, inshallah ta'ala. So Halima was terrified. They said, let us take him back before something occurs. Then Amina said, Shaitan has no way to get into my child. How could she be so sure? Because of the ru'ya. So that is the most famous version. He, alayhi salam, was born on the 12th of Rabi' al-Awwal, 50 days after the event of Abraha. You all know the event of Abraha, about which Allah Ta'ala talks in Surah Al-Fil. أَلَمْ تَرَ كَيْفَ فَعَلَ رَبُّكَ بِأَصْحَابِ الْفِيلِ أَلَمْ يَجْعَلْ كَيْدَهُمْ فِي تَضْلِيلٍ وَأَرْسَلَ عَلَيْهِمْ طَيْرًا أَبَابِيلَ تَرْمِيهِمْ بِحِجَارَةٍ مِّن سِجِّيلٍ فَجَعَلَهُمْ كَعَصْفٍ مَأْكُولٍ. That big event was a preparation for this, for the greatest and the biggest event, actually the only and unique event, the event of the birth of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. When things like that happen, Allah Ta'ala prepares it. So prepares those things so that people will know. You know, before they used to use the events for tawarikh. So, and some of the scholars say that it will fall on April the 20th. Some say 570, some have said 571. And it was like 888 years after the beginning of the ruling of King Alexander. King Alexander was a student to Aristotle. You call it, how do you call it? How do you call it? We call it Aristo in Arabic. How do you call it? Aristotle? Aristotle. Yes, you call it Aristotle. Or yeah. So that is, they say that after the beginning, 888 years after the beginning of the ruling of Alexander, the student of Aristotle was the very date the Holy Prophet ﷺ was born. When Kisra Anusharwan had 42 years in his ruling. Kisra Anusharwan, Kisra was the ruler of Faris. Kisra is the name of the ruler of the Faris, or the nickname or the title of the ruler of Faris. 42 years after the beginning of his ruling, the Prophet ﷺ was born, which means 24 years after the beginning of his ruling, Abdullah was born. Because when the Prophet ﷺ was born, Abdullah would be 24. Abdullah would be 24. That's why after 24 of his ruling, Sayyidina Abdullah was born, and after 42 of his ruling, the Prophet ﷺ was born. I mean, 42 of his ruling, 24 of his ruling, because Abdullah was, the Prophet ﷺ, when he was born, Abdullah was not 24. It would be maybe 19 something, because Abdullah was 18 when he got married. He was 18. Hadwan ila al-khair, I said. Ha, dal, wow, hadwan ila al-khair. So 42 minus 24, 18, right? 42 minus 24, 18. You guys went to school, so you have to answer the math questions, not me. Anyway, we're going to talk a little bit more about the Holy Prophet ﷺ's birth, you know, about some of the irhasat, miracles. We call them miracles. We say miracles, but in Arabic you have different names for miracles. When it comes from a wali, we call it karama. When it comes from a nabi that is not a nabi yet, we call it irhas. When he becomes a nabi, we call it mu'jiza. When it comes from anyone who could be both good or bad, we call it khariq. Khariq al-'ada. It's a miracle. But the Prophet ﷺ's irhasat were the preparation to show that the one who's born is not an ordinary man. Actually, he's everything but ordinary. Alayhi salatu wasalam. Forgive my lengthiness because we don't have like a good environment now. But we talk about the Prophet ﷺ, so everything is good when we talk about the good one. Alayhi salatu wasalam.